What up, guys? This is Casey Israel again, and this is part 5 of video game histories from Casey Israel. And obviously, you can tell it's about Tetris. Tetris is like the king of games, quite frankly. I mean, this has been told before. Tetris is the new solitaire. Uh, People will forever know what Tetris is. I mean, the Game Historian did a very good video history about Tetris. It was almost an hour. Highly suggest you guys watch it. I remember about a few years ago they were talking about making a Tetris movie. I'm like, okay, how the hell are you gonna make a movie out of blocks? Well, then I learned about the history behind Tetris, and that's interesting. And now I see why they would have done it. There's so much crazy things that happened because obviously the game was made from Russia, from uh, and it got leaked out from Russia all over the world. And there was this one guy who said he bought all the rights, selling fake rights to people like Tenjin, who's Atari, and then and also the same thing to the people who made bulletproof software. This version of Tetris, as this one as well, and there was some big license issues, rights, and I believe Atari or I know Sega got the arcade units of to rights to Tetris, and there was one guy who got the rights to the PC, but by the time the guy got the rights to the PC, everyone was playing Tetris on the PC, so you're not gonna make money there. And then Nintendo hit it big time when they got Tetris for not only the rights for the handheld, they got the rights for a long time on for the consoles. Honestly, now Tetris moved on, lost the license long time ago. Then Nintendo lost the license long time ago. It expired, so now they're free to put Tetris on any system they want, or who would allow it. But Tetris, people love Tetris. Um, the one I grew up originally, to me, it's going to be obvious. It's going to be Tetris on the NES. This one was the one I grew up with. Uh, my mother would kick ass in this game. She would literally get to the very end where the building would go up as a rocket ship, not the big rocket space shuttle rocket ship going up. So, and then eventually we moved. No, we got a Game Boy, and this is not our original Tetris. I don't know what happened to my Game Boy collection and Game Boy games, but I don't have as many Game Boy games as I did back in the day. But there's so many versions. We love Tetris on Game Boy as well. And if we're going to talk about that, I mean, it honestly went on to other handhelds. I mean, shoot, it's on mobile as well. But one of the ones we like to play on is the Tetris Axis on the 3DS. Highly suggest it. Very good game, honestly. It's going to be hard to make Tetris a bad game, but they eventually did that every once in a while. Produce a bad version of Tetris. So I'll be pointing out the bad versions of Tetris. Some people might like them, but I'll point out the good Tetris for you guys. There's more good games than bad, quite honestly. And then during the whole license issues, like I was talking about, there's a company called Bulletproof. what's it called? Bulletproof Software, yeah. Made this Tetris cartridge, and Russia did not know this was out, and they freaked. But because they worked out the deal, you know, obviously they got the license for Nintendo, and this is not the good version. I believe Tetris 2, their Tetris 2, this one never came out to America. Neither of these came out to America. But Tetris 2 played better than this one. This one was, the controls a little clunky, if you ask me. But for the Famicom. But I'm gonna remove some of these games real quick before I get rid of this one. This I went flea marketing with my brother-in-law, and we came across this one vendor. She had 2-box games. She had a box marked Super Mario Brothers 3. I had to get that because at the time I didn't. She just had the loose one that I had as a child, but it had Tetris. I was kind of like, I really wanted it, but I'm like, I was running out of funds. I think I paid $5 or $10 for the Mario 3, and I think she was asking $20 for this one. I could be wrong, but I started kicking myself in the ass because I wanted the box. But eventually, you can see I do have a box copy of Tetris 1 now. But the next one is, to me, is superior on the NES, is Tengen Tetris. The most it's a rare version of Tetris on the NES. You probably notice these black carts all the time if you played NES games. I mean, like I said before, Tengen is an unlicensed company. I mean, they made some licensed games for the NES, but they mostly were known for their unlicensed games like this one. And during the whole rights issues, Nintendo hadn't released their version of Tetris yet, but Tengen did. And they lost the legal battle, so Tengen had to recall some of the Tetris games back. And obviously there's still some in the wild, like, because I have one, but now they're like, this is the most expensive Tengen cartridge in the whole library of Tengen games. But like I said, this is the superior version of the NES game. And then they kind of went on to made some weird versions of Tetris. Like this one, Tetris 2. It kind of looks like the original Tetris, but they have bombs and stuff. It almost looks like Dr. Mario, quite frankly, a little bit. But there's bombs. To me, quite frankly, I think Dr. Mario is 100 times better than Tetris 2, quite frankly, if you ask me. I mean, obviously, this is the worst version of Tetris on the NES. And, if we're going to talk about NES, I think we should talk about some more weird games. This is called Hatris. And you're like, Hatris? Yes, they made weird games. You can even see it new from the creator of Tetris, Hatris. And yes, it's exactly what you're thinking. It's Tetris with hats. Exactly what you do. You match the hats up. I don't know how many you had to put them together to get rid of them, but yeah, it's just a weird looking game. But I think I still prefer playing Hatris over Tetris 2, quite frankly. But it's kind of a weird game. But let me move on to the next one. And you want to talk about weird games? There's Wordtris. It's even. I think it's a little bit. I'd give it a little bit better than Tetris 2. It's in the same genre, I would say, almost as good as Tetris. I would say it's pretty much like Scrabble, but Tetris. It's like Tetris meets Scrabble. You got a letter come down, and like for some reason it'd be like in the middle of the screen, and then you would make letters. I mean, make words like at least four letters, I believe, and it would disappear. But obviously, you want something bigger than three or four to hide, no, to get good points. But I picked this one up recently. I was like, huh, Wordtress. I'll pick that up. And you can see how much I paid for it, $6, and stamped with all stickers all over it. And then you got Tetris 2 for the Super Nintendo. The box is in pretty good dang shape, but obviously it's going to look better on 16-bit system. But still, I don't prefer this version of Tetris 2 either. I mean, I don't like Tetris 2. Tetris 2 to me is garbage. And I think there was a Tetris and Mario cartridge combined. I think it's a little expensive. It's kind of expensive. Like, I'm not 100% sure, between $25 to $50, give or take, around there. It could be nowhere near the price. I hadn't seen it in a while, but I should get that because I love Tetris and I love Dr. Mario. And and I'll talk about some of the games that I feel was inspired by from Tetris as well. But and then I was playing this game. I think my ex-girlfriend gave me this one version before. It's a Tetris Worlds plus has Star Wars, the Clone Wars. But I played the Tetris Worlds. I enjoyed playing it. It's just another modern version of Tetris again, but it's a good version. Oh, talking about that, I recently got the CDI. I want to get the Tetris version of that. I heard it's hard to play, especially with the TV remote control uh, game controller I got. So it's going to be hard to play Tetris with that thing. But yeah, like I said, this is a good version of Tetris. I highly suggest it. And then when the Nintendo Switch came out, obviously there's all versions of Tetris. I don't have all the Tetris games. And that'd be kind of cool if I do. But I might try to pick them up as if I see them. But when the Switch came out, one of the first games that got released, Tetris version, was Puyo Puyo Tetris. And Puyo Puyo was not a big thing in America. It was more a Japan thing. Um, that game, they pretty much have, if I flip it around, oh, I guess you can't really tell. Puyo Puyo is pretty much Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. It's the exact same game. They just stole the property. They probably paid the people who made Puyo Puyo, and they just slapped Sonic characters on it. But Puyo Puyo Tetris is good. I enjoyed it. And then later on, they did one with just Puyo Puyo. Like, oh shoot, I think Puyo Puyo Tetris is actually better than just Puyo Puyo. And eventually, a couple years ago, they released on the Nintendo Switch was their version of Battle Royale, is Tetris 99. It's a real good game. The closest I ever got to win, I believe I got to second place. And I got super lucky to get second place. I'll be lucky to get inside the top 25 if I'm lucky. And just one day, just got close. I was second place. I was damn near won. But Yeah, I suggest get this one as well. And then I suggest if you have a PS4, even if and also if you have the VR like I do, get Tetris Effect. To me, this is the best version of Tetris. It's a beautiful looking game. It's just you're playing Tetris and then all this crazy stuff that's going in the background, and the music is beautiful just as the background stuff is beautiful. So to me, I'm like, even if you don't have the VR, get this game. It's still a beautiful game. I mean, nice. Good job, Casey. Oh, definitely deserves game awards if you ask me. I was kind of hoping there would be some game pictures, gameplay pictures, but I had played some game streams. They're on my YouTube channel, but like I said before, this to me is the best version of Tetris, hands down. I don't think there could be anything to top this anytime soon. So, thanks for watching. Bye.